This comes from Wisebox Games. If you were lucky to discover Wisebox Games a few years ago, they actually had an Airbnb back in the day, and they would have 2 floors. So you had a game shop on one floor and then the Airbnb on the second floor. Really cool. A friend of mine was going to Thailand, and he asked me, "Hey, do you know any publishers?" And I go, "Oh, not only do I know a publisher, they run like an Airbnb, board game cafe, and then next door was like a foot massage place." And he's like, "What? Seriously?" I'm like, "Yeah, let me hook you up." And he had a great time. So this is Wisebox, and they're going to have quite a few games out there. But I wanted to showcase these two. Thailand, like Hong Kong and China, really, really love social deduction games. Like if you think you like social deduction games, you don't. You don't even come close to Thailand and Hong Kong because man, oh man, they love it there. And like even in Taiwan itself, in Taipei, there are a lot of people who really like social deduction, like a lot. Let's talk about Dying Message first. This is the game that they're going to be pushing here. This is a social deduction game. I had one of the most horrific experiences playing this game. This is a very typical social deduction game where like it's another open your eyes, close your eyes games, and there's talking and banter going back and forth. So you have the killer. This game plays from 4 to 30. Let's just sit on that for a second. 4 to 30. And I asked him, I asked the publisher, like, why do you ever have games that go up to 30? Like, do you want games that go up to 30? And he's like, oh yeah, like there sometimes like you have like 12 people who want to all play the same game and we're all there. Wow, that's amazing. So yeah, and then they have like the killer, and you're trying to find who the killer is, and the killer every round is killing someone. Very, very similar. You've seen like that before. This is interesting though, because like when you have those higher player counts, you could have potentially 2 killers, and more people are dying off. In addition to the killers, you have like killer assistants, right? And each killer assistant does something different, right? And the cool thing is that the killer doesn't know who the killer assistant is, and the killer assistant isn't 100% sure who the killer is, but they kind of help each other out with that vote. And that I'll get back to that about why that's super, super cool. They have and then you naturally have different characters. So like when one of these characters gets killed, like something will happen. Like the Muay Thai person will attack the killer, and then that'll trigger something. There's a civilian here, and she just kind of doesn't have as an exciting role. You have like the garbage man who does a specific thing. The twist for this game is this, and I think this is so cool. And this is why the game is called Dying Message. Every round you're going to have 9 of these cards here, and these are like 9 little evidence cards, and these could range from like like a light bulb or to a CD, a blood splatter, the shape of a letter. It could be like the shape like of a Y, or a letter here. There could be like a calculator. There could be a mop. There is a lighter. So what's going to happen is, oh my gosh, I didn't show you the best card. The best card in this game is the dog. The dog is by far the best card in this game. I love the dog. Anyway, the dog is so cool. How it works is it's very simple. Everyone close your eyes, and you have to put a hand out on the table. And everyone close your eyes. The killer opens their eyes, and the killer is going to hit your hand and essentially kill you. And when that happens, you just say, "Oh no, I'm dead," and you open your eyes. Everyone still has their eyes closed, and then and then you are going to look at the table, and you're going to look at these 9 items that are here on the board. Let me see if I can spread these out, because I think this is really, really clever. You spread these things here, and you're going to choose one of these things that's going to identify who. It's your dying message. Like you're trying to tell them who the killer is. Right. So like maybe like I had I had an iPhone, like an iWatch on. And so, or like Knock had Sunset had the iWatch on. So I chose this to show that. No. That's what it was. Yes. Sorry. I was killed. and I chose one item in particular to say like, hey, this is Sunset. Sunset killed me, and then the killer is going to take two items and then put them next to it to kind of fuzzy it up a bit. And he chose this because I was wearing like an eye wash, or like no, I didn't get killed. Someone else got killed, and he put that there to say that look, it's the iPhone watch. Jay's wearing the smartwatch. It must be him. Man, he's tricky, that guy. So anyway, oh gosh, I'm getting mixed up and the story's getting convoluted. Give me a second. Okay. Everyone close your eyes. The killer opens their eyes. The killer kills someone whose hand is there. And you say, oh no, I'm dead. And you open your eyes. You look at all the stuff that's on the table. You pick something that's going to identify the killer. And then the killer's going to take two things and put them there. And then now everyone's going to look at that and debate who the killer is. And they're going to talk and vote. And eventually they're going to point at someone. And then that person's going to reveal if they're the killer or not. Very simple, right? And then if you're dead, you get to look at the next cards and try to arrange and help and pick things from the deck to help people choose, to help identify who the killer is. And you could talk about that. You could talk about the cards that weren't picked versus the cards that were picked. It's really clever. I'm not the biggest fan of social deduction games, but when social deduction games are done right, meaning that they give the player something to focus on. Like this, like the dying message. It gives the player something to focus on. It creates those opportunities for people to speak. Because without it, it's just like this free-for-all of talking, and it's not as fun. But when there are specific things for players to focus on, like the bicycle helmet, or like this, or like, oh man, like in the game that we play is like, oh look, there's an H. He used an H on here. Like your name is Howard. It must be you. Like little things like that was just really, really fun and exciting. The best character, though, in this game, the best thing of this game is, oh my goodness, is the dog. The dog is by far the best, because the dog, if you don't want someone to die, the dog can put their hand over your hand to protect you. I think that's so cute. And then the dog could die. I didn't mean to laugh at that. Wow, that's a little dark. And actually, you have a detective, right? And the goal is to get the detective to correctly identify who the killer is. And the detective knows which one of these three clues is correct and which two are false. And you're trying to slowly deduce that. And I remember like one game we played, it got down to the detective, it got down to the killer, and it got to the killer assistant. And I am the killer there. And it got, let's see, yeah, it was the killer. Oh gosh, I forget. I was a killer, and the detective just says like, look, like he's a killer, just vote for him and he's dead. And then we went together. She's like that's the detective. I'm the killer. I'm the killer. That's the detective. Let's just vote together and kill him. And then we both win the game. And I was like, wait, I'm the killer. And then they voted, and I was a killer, and the detective won. Brilliant. Really brilliant. Very clever move there. I think I got that story correct. Wrong? I don't know. But yeah, that's this. Thailand, like Wise Games, they really focus on social deduction games, and they do a really clever way of doing it. Like they have like these subtle little twists to the format, and you don't think that would be enough, but it is enough, and it is enough to make it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more focused. I think they do a really good job of that. The fact that this is, plays up to 30 is kind of nuts. I think that's really, really bizarre. But let's talk about their other game, which I'm not 100% sure is coming, but it might, called Moody Bear. And Moody Bear, do not be deceived by this artwork. This game is very, very, very frustrating. Let's see if I can get it all out here. All right. Now, let's say we're playing a 5-player game, because it's just the easiest way for me to teach this game. So 2 players are going to be Team Fire. This looks like the Will Ferrell movie. 2 players are going to be Team Ice. Right? And 1 player is going to be the Darkness. And if you are like Team Fire or Team Ice, you're basically trying to do the same thing. You're trying to get these crystals. You're trying to get enough crystals and just end the game. If you are the Dark Knight, which is this one, I can do it. I can do it. If you are the Dark Knight, your goal is to make sure the deck runs out and you have the Dark Swallow card comes. When this comes, it's like the nothing from Never Ending Story just comes, wipes everything out, and everyone's dead. And then you win because you brought up the end of the world. That card isn't a game ender, though, because there is... where are we here? Yes, I believe it's the Mace of Light. You could have this card, and you could throw this card out of the game, and then this gets shuffled back into the deck, and then the deck gets restacked, and then the timer happens again. But the deck is constantly going to be thinning. And all the other cards in here, like the Fire team is trying to find 3 Fire crystals, the Ice team is trying to find 3 Ice crystals, and the rest is just this noise of chaos, of like looking at cards, switching cards, thinking cards doing this, doing that, and you're rearranging the cards, trying to get more information. You're attacking people to get have them to reveal cards, and doing all that. And you're slowly, the noise here is slowly dwindling down, and then you're going to try and slowly, eventually find like what the crystals are, and trying to deduce who your partner is, because you have no idea who's who. And the whole time you're wondering, like, are you going to end the game? Are you the one who's trying to bring about the end of the world? And you're like, look, I used the Mace of Light. I saved us from the end of the world. Obviously, I'm not the bad guy. And you're trying to hold on to your own gems and trying to hold on to your opponent's gems, but you can't hold on to all of them all the time, because people start slowly deducing who has it. And then sometimes you're thinking, okay, you're my guy. I'm Fire. Are you Fire? It's like, yeah, I'm Fire. Look, I'm Ice. Let's work together. And it's really, really clever, because when you're trying to figure out who your opponent is, you're trying to figure out who your teammate is. And the whole time you're trying to both avoid the ultimate chaos end of the world. As this deck gets lower and lower and thinner and thinner and thinner, it's a lot of fun. Like, this is a really, really, really clever social deduction game. I mean, but like, your mileage may vary with the bears. I mean, like, the artwork is very, very cute, but I'm going to say like your mileage may vary with the bears here. But the artwork is very, very clever. Oh, I think I got a message here. Let me double check. And that is this. I had a special surprise. But it seems that my special surprise is running late by about 15 minutes. So right now, if any of you have any questions about any of these games, please comment below. Let me know.